Have you ever stopped to wonder what really makes us tick? Why we compete so hard, why we crave connection, why we chase after success or fame like our lives depend on it. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that because there is an invisible game being played all around us, all the time. This is an explainer on Will Storr's fascinating book, The Status Game, which uncovers this hidden force that, believe it or not, shapes almost everything we do. And to really get a grip on this game, we're going to start with a story. It's a bit of a puzzle, actually. It's about a man named Ben Gunn, whose choice, well, it seems to defy all common sense. So get this. After spending 30 long years locked away, Ben was finally up for release. I mean, freedom, a new life, everything he should have wanted was right there for him. But his answer to that offer? It was absolutely shocking. He actually said, "I want to stay." In prison. Now, the really mind-bending part isn't just what he chose, but why he chose it. And to understand that, you've got to look at the life he had managed to build for himself on the inside. See, Ben went to prison when he was just 14 years old, basically at the absolute bottom of any social ladder you can imagine. But over those 3 decades, he completely reinvented himself. He got degrees, he became a jailhouse lawyer fighting for the rights of other inmates, he earned real respect, he had influence. Inside those walls, he wasn't just some prisoner, he was somebody. And here is the absolute crux of it. Right before his release, a prison officer told him, "You're going to lose what status you have in here." And Ben knew he was right. Inside, he was important. Outside, he'd be nobody, just another ex-con. So his fear, it wasn't about losing his freedom. It was about a complete and total loss of status. Ben's story, it's not just about one man in a weird situation. It's actually the key to understanding the secret game that every single one of us is playing every single day. It turns out his choice wasn't irrational at all. In fact, it unlocks a fundamental, hidden rule of human nature. We are all, constantly, whether we know it or not, playing a game. And that is the status game. This thing is hardwired right into our DNA. Think about it. For our ancient ancestors, getting accepted by the tribe and then climbing the ladder within it meant everything. It meant better food, better protection, a better chance to have a family. It literally meant survival. Our brains are still running that ancient software. So this isn't something we choose to do, right? It's not a hobby. It's just an inescapable part of being human. Our deep, primal need for status is steering our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions, whether we realize it or not. We can't help but play. Okay, so if we're all stuck playing this game, how do we actually win? Well, it turns out there are 3 basic strategies that we humans use to gain status. First up, there's the dominance game. This is the oldest playbook, winning through force, fear, and intimidation. Think of your classic tyrant. But then you've got 2 other games, the prestige games, which are way more common today. You can play the virtue game, where you gain status by being moral and doing good deeds. That's your saint archetype. Or you can play the success game, where you win by being great at something, by showing off your skill or knowledge. That's the genius. You see these characters everywhere, from your office to your Instagram feed. And these prestige games, they are all around us. Back in the day, status might have come from being the best hunter. Or on the island of Pohnpei, it was about growing the biggest yam for the feast. Today, it's about winning that big prize, or being the most generous donor at the charity gala, or even just being seen as the most stylish person in your friend group. Humans can turn pretty much anything into a status symbol. But here's the catch. There's a paradox, a kind of tragic flaw right at the very heart of the game. You know that feeling of satisfaction when you achieve something? Yeah, it doesn't last. Our brains are designed to get used to whatever level of status we have and then immediately start looking for the next rung on the ladder. It's a game without a finish line. And this is exactly why you see such insane examples of status symbols. I mean, who really needs a Franck Muller watch that costs $2.7 million? Nobody. But the game pushes us to constantly signal where we are in the pecking order, and that bar just keeps getting higher and higher. And this craving for status, it is profoundly addictive. A study of some of the most famous people in the world found that many of them felt totally trapped by their success. As one of them put it, "I've been addicted to almost every substance, and the most addicting of them all is fame." The more status you get, the more you need. It's a dangerous loop. So if this game is that addictive, what happens when you pour gasoline on the fire? How does this ancient human impulse play out in our hyper-connected 21st century world?
Well, in the modern world, the game has been completely supercharged. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, X, they're basically slot machines for status. Every single like, every follow, every share is a tiny little hit of status, a little reward designed to keep us pulling that lever over and over and over again.
But these status machines do more than just get us hooked. They also sort us into teams. And here's the dangerous side effect of the game. To make our own group feel superior, we instinctively start telling ourselves stories that make rival groups look inferior or even evil. And this is a massive driver of the polarization and the constant us versus them mindset we see everywhere today.
So given all these traps, how do we play this game well? The book suggests the solution isn't to try and stop playing, because you can't, but to play for the right kind of status, genuine prestige. And you earn that by signaling 3 key things. First, warmth. Show people you're not a threat. Second, sincerity. Show them you'll play by the rules. And third, competence. Show them you actually bring something valuable to the table.
And that really brings us to the final and most important question. The status game is inescapable. We know that now. But once you can see the game board, you can start to choose how you play. So take a hard look at your career, your social life, your online world. What games are you playing? And are they the ones you truly want to win?